Business. Good evening. Welcome to the City of Douglas Mayor and Commission meeting. This will serve as our regular meeting for August the 24th, 2020, and our invocation will come from my pastor, Pastor Trevino Simpson of Pleasant Grove Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor Simpson.
He needs that special prayer.
Gracious Father God, we want to thank you, God, for allowing us to be here. God, even through this rough weather, God, we know that you are God. God, we just ask you, Father God, to let this meeting, God, be with a business mindset on tonight. God, we just ask you, Father God, to just guide every thought, guide every person's attitude. God, we just ask you to move through this building tonight. God, we just ask you, even in this prayer, God, we just ask you to touch the heart of someone that may not know you. God, we just ask you to bless them now, God. Cover them now in your presence, Lord. God, we just ask you to look over the city as you have always had. God, we just ask you to continue to hold us and keep us in the palm of your hands. God, we thank you, God, that you are worthy to be praised. And we ask these things in your Son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Pastor. I appreciate it. The next, we have the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have the Coffee Hide Navy ROTC here with us. So things are back in full swing, and tonight we have Lieutenant Commander Reed to lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is the approval of the order of the agenda. It's been motioned and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda items. As always, we turn it over to the Pride of West Green, our city manager. Mr. Charlie Davis will read off what we placed on the consent agenda. Mr. Davis?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have 7 items coming over on the consent agenda tonight. The first item is item 1, approval of the August 10th minutes. Item 2, approval of the appointments as discussed for the Airport Commission in the work session. Item 3, approval of Michael S. Clark's alcoholic beverage license application. Item 4, approval of the ratification of the resolution for the Community Foundation of Coffee County grant application. Item 5, approval of police purchase of a license plate reader system. Item 7 was the approval of the FY20 budget amendment. And item 10, approval of the It's Time Movement September 12th March request.
At this time, I entertain a motion to. It's been motioned and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the work session items brought forward for discussion or question. Once again, we'll turn that over to the Pride of West Green, Mr. Charlie Davis. Mr. Davis, lead us through it.
Mayor, we have 3 items coming over tonight on the take forward from the work session. The first item will be item 6, found on page 43. Discuss the 2020 millage tax ordinance. As required by law, we've published the tax digest. This year, we're setting the tax digest at the same rate it was last year of 8.387. And tonight would be the first reading, and we'll bring this back to you at the next meeting for the second reading, public hearing, and then adoption.
Thank you very much. Mr. Adams, our city attorney.
Okay, this is the 2020 no new taxes ordinance for the city of Douglas. This will be an ordinance of the Mayor Board of Commissioners of the City of Douglas, Georgia, proposed for the levy of a tax upon all taxable property within the city of Douglas, subject to taxation Under the laws of the state of Georgia and the ordinance of the city of Douglas for the calendar year 2020 and for all purposes subject to all provisions hereof, be it ordained by the mayor and board of commissioners of the city of Douglas and section assembled is hereby levied aggregation 14.41 mills upon all taxable property, both real and personal, within the city limits of Douglas, Georgia, subject to taxation under the laws of the state of Georgia and ordinance of the city of Douglas as reported by the board of assessors for municipal taxes in said city and due in legal form, levy in proportion as follows: ad valorem tax millage equivalently 14.41 mills, less sales tax millage equivalency 6.03 mills, total 2020 City of Douglas tax millage 8.38 mills, less 2020 Industrial Authority millage 1 mill, net City of Douglas 2020 ad valorem tax millage rate 7.38 mills. Be it ordained by the authority of the aforesaid that the tax assessed herein above provided be collected by the duly elected tax commissioner of Coffee County, who has entered into an agreement with the City of Douglas for collection of municipal taxes on or before the first day of December. The duly elected tax commissioner shall keep the records open from the first day of September 2020 until the first day of December 2020. And after such date, the elected tax commissioner shall then proceed to issue tax executions for all due and unpaid taxes due to the City of Douglas, Georgia for the year 2020. Be it further ordained that the City of Douglas authorizes the tax commissioner of the county to bill and collect the 1 mill for the Douglas Coffee County Industrial Authority and to remit the taxes directly to the Douglas Coffee County Industrial Authority. That is the first reading. We'll have the second reading of this on September 14th, at which time you will take action.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adams. Mr. City Manager?
Next item is item 8, found on page 53. Discuss the Hometown Strong Initiative as being awarded to the City of Douglas from Pilgrim Pride tonight. Mayor, if you want.
Yes, the city manager, myself, Kevin from ESG, and Mike from the City of Douglas Utilities, Mike Hudson, we had the opportunity a couple weeks to go out and talk to the leadership team of Pilgrim. Had a very, very good meeting, and then the next following week, we find out about the Hometown Strong Initiative. And to explain a little bit more before we take action, I'm going to bring up before us the complex manager of Pilgrims, Mr. Mark Dean.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I think everyone needs to be proud of the leadership you have with this Douglas management here, Mr. Mayor, and your group. I think it's a phenomenal group. We have 1,000 employees at Pilgrims with a $31 billion payroll and 150 growers. But we can't do it without the City of Douglas. Very excited about that partnership. As part of our hometown initiative, we'd like to propose contributing $475,000 to the water tower. It's part of a $2.5 million investment in our water quality system at the Poultry plant. At this time, we have excellent water for generations coming out of that Poultry plant with our investment. I'd like to partner with you guys on this water tower and be a beginning of many initiatives together with the city as we move forward for this great city of Douglas.
We thank you very much. At this time, I entertain a motion. It's been motion and second. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Dean. Appreciate it. Mr. City Manager?
Next is item 9, found on page 53. Discuss the resolution for Mrs. Gwendolyn Relaford. Mayor Polk.
Mr. Blimpie is here. Mr. Blimpie? Also, I forgot, Commissioner Pearson is ill. That's why she's not here today, so we wish her well and speedy recovery. Okay, go ahead. You'll say a couple things, and then I'll read the resolution.
I asked the mayor on behalf of the Kiwanis Club and actually the community of Douglas and Coffee County, I'd like to make a recommendation, a resolution to honor Ms. Gwendolyn Relaford. I got to know Ms. Relaford as her principal and worked with her at the Mary Hay Center as chairman of the board of advisors. Ms. Relaford taught for 32 years in the school system, taught over 2,400 students, 2,400 students. She served at the Mary Hay Center for 23 years, a total of 55 years. She served on 6 city or county committees. She gave her students and community she worked with her dedication, and she served with distinction. And because of that, I've asked for a resolution to recognize her.
You ready? Resolution in honor of Gwendolyn Buckhannon Relaford. Whereas Miss Gwendolyn Buckhannon Relaford has taught in the Coffee County school system for 32 years and was the only teacher ever to be selected twice for Teacher of the Year. Whereas Miss Gwendolyn Buchanan Relaford has been the director of the Mayor Hayes Center for Social Change for 23 years, helping students improve social interaction through sessions and activities provided by local organizations, churches, and resource persons. And whereas Ms. Relaford has been active in Pleasant Grove Baptist Church serving as a deaconess and adult Sunday school teacher, Bible study teacher, and president of the Women's Department of the Eastern Missionary Baptist Association. And whereas Ms. Relaford and her husband, Joe Relaford, organized the Coffee County Citizens United for Progress that provided social and educational activities that allow students to pursue higher education and present themselves as a polished young ladies and gentlemen. And whereas Ms. Relaford was involved with several civic organizations such as Coffee County Tax Equalization, Coffee County Library Board, Coffee County Bicentennial Committee, Kiwanis Club, and the Coffee County Notable Blights, which was placed in the Heritage Museum. And whereas now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and the board of commissioners of the city of Douglas do hereby acknowledge the efforts of Ms. Gwendolyn Buchanan Relaford for her involvement and positive impact in Douglas and Coffee County. Thank you very much. Yes, after we get all the signatures on, we'll have to give it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. City Manager, back to you. I think that's the last one.
You'll need to adopt the resolution.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the resolution. There's been motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Mr. City Manager?
Those are all the items from the work session, and we don't have no staff comments.
We have no staff comments. At this time, that concludes the business of the city of Douglas. At this time, I entertain a motion to adjourn. It's been motion and second. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? We stand adjourned. Good evening.
Oh, thank goodness.